Hey guys, what's up? It's the Merc here from Poolshed Games, and today I'm in the office, and I'm going to be bringing you a video about the Winter Guard Death Star. And sort of my feelings on the unit, and competitive units as a whole. Because we haven't done a miniatures video in a while, and I wanted to do one. So, first, I do play Khador, or Khador, however you want to say it, for Warmachine. When I first got into Warmachine, I went with Khador strictly because I love Men of War. They're probably my favorite models in a gaming system currently. They're big, they're intimidating, powerful looking, they're very cool. So imagine my disappointment when I found out they're not all that stellar, gameplay-wise. I mean, the regular Men of War, the Shock Troopers, they have their uses. Against the Lich Lord, they do pretty well. He has a hard time cracking that high armor, especially if I run him, with some of the casters I run them with. Which it's usually, I can't remember, is it Strakov or the Old Witch, the Butcher, both versions of the Butcher. They do okay for me. I picked up I have 3 of the demo core, which I don't use very often. I like to use them under Strakov with occultation because then they're stealthed. And I also hear an ice cream truck right now, which is a little creepy because I live in the country and I'm not used to hearing that. But anyway. And I have a full unit of the Bombardiers, and I bought those simply for their badass factor. I know a lot of people don't like them. Common internet wisdom is they are horrible, but they've done okay for me. I can't rate their praises too high, but they're a unit that I like the look of. I bought them for that reason, and I'm okay with that. So then we come to what people have told me. Like, we had a guy here in the group that played with us for about a month before we were like, dude, don't come back. You're too competitive, you don't fit in here. And he just constantly was on about what everybody calls the Winter Guard Death Star. And I know Wargamer Girl, some of her videos I've seen, she uses it. I know other people, I know from watching some of the battle reports and mini wargaming, they use it. And for a long time I was like, nope, not gonna get it because I don't want to use that unit. I don't want to have to use the crutch that it seems like every Khador player uses. Well, after getting introduced to the full unit of Bane Thralls with Banelord Tartarus and getting stomped a couple of times, I decided maybe, just maybe, it's okay to step my game up and grab the Death Star, so to speak. I've used them, I think, 2 games now. I have them together. I have them undercoated. I don't have them painted yet, which I'm working on fixing, but college eats a lot of time. I do have a break coming up, though, and I plan on getting some painting done. It's either going to be Dystopian Wars, Warmachine, or Infinity, because those are what I have undercoated currently. Now, I guess if you don't play Warmachine and you don't know what the Winter Guard Death Star is, it is kind of a staple unit for Khador, which it's a unit of, I think, 10 infantry with a unit leader, 3 RPG guys, a banner, a standard, and a solo special character. The solo special character is really what makes the Death Star the Death Star. Without him, they're just an impressive unit. Because they all have 8-inch blunderbuss attacks, which on their own aren't that great, but they're not terrible. It's nice to have a little bit of a ranged option. Then they've combined ranged attack, which means you can combine numbers of models from the unit into one attack, which gives them a bonus to hit and a bonus to damage. That's pretty nice. Now, when you throw in the RPG guys, you can have up to 3 of them. They're only a point apiece, and they give you a 14-inch, 3-inch AoE blast, which, it's nice from playing Khador. and especially the way I played it when I first started, I did not have a lot of reach out and hit the opponent stuff. I was very much just slowly trundle across the board like a turtle and then break stuff, which kind of worked, kind of didn't. But with the 3 Rocketeers in the unit, you get 14-inch range, 3-inch AoE blasts, which it's just a nice little extra. Now that on its own isn't that impressive, but then you start throwing in units like, well, you start throwing in the unit attachment, which is the standard bearer and the unit leader. The unit leader allows them to have combined melee attack, which is the same thing as combined range attack. And on top of that, it gives them bob and weave, which means as long as they make an advance, they get a bonus to their defense, which they're already a fairly high defense, and with bob and weave, they become even higher, making them very hard to hit, which that is the big selling point of the Death Star, is they're hard to hit. And then what the Standard Bearer does is the Standard Bearer allows you to use Grape Shot, which gives every model in the unit an 8-inch spray template attack, which that is so nice if you're trying to clear out packed units of infantry, if you're trying to deal with stealth units, because you can use a spray on a stealth unit. It's a nice ability. And the Standard Bearer is in there for morale, which we haven't, I don't know, it doesn't come up very often in our games because we don't play. We should pay more attention to that rule than we do. I'm not going to lie to you on that one. But, we have good time while we do it. And then you get what makes the Death Star, and that is Kovnik Joe. Kovnik Joseph Grigorovich, I believe, is the character's name. My cards are here. Let me look. So I'm not lying to you, dear viewers. Joseph Grigorovich. That's right. And he is kind of what makes that unit worth it in the long haul. Because he can give them orders, speeches, which make them better than they normally would be. And that's, the one I've used the most is one that makes them fearless and tough. Which, tough in Warmachine is essentially like a Bionics roll used to be in the older editions of 40k, where your guy dies, but instead of dying, you roll die 6 on a 5 or 6, he's not dead. He's knocked down. Next turn, he's back with 1 hit point. He has to make the decision between moving or taking an action, but you didn't lose a guy. That's huge, and fearless is helpful too. But he can also give them +3 strength for a round, so if you know you're going to get into hand-to-hand, like with a jack, and you're worried that you might not have enough oomph to win that, you give them that, and you can combine melee attack if your leader is still alive, and really, they can put a hurting on a jack. And the last one gives them all attack rolls are boosted, which is nice because normally infantry can't get boosted attack rolls. So it makes it easier for you to hit. Say you're trying to pull off a combined range attack to bring something down. You get a boosted to hit, and it's just a nice ability. So there is one other model I want to talk about, but I'll talk about that a little bit after I show you the models here. And we'll start with this guy. This is Joe. Kovnik Joe. You can see he's undercoated white. He's patiently waiting for his turn at the painting table. Nice. It's privateer press. Their models are very, very nice. But he is what essentially makes the Death Star. And then here's the unit leader, grizzled veteran type lady that she is. She's the one that gives them bob and weave in the combined range attack. And this is the Standard Bearer, which you can see it is a sculpted standard, which I really appreciate that. I like that a lot. It's sculpted on both sides. And the model, you know, they're cool. They're great little models. They definitely carry the Russian-y conscript vibe that the Winter Guard and Khador has. And then all the Rocketeers are kneeling down. They have the big bulbous kind of like RPG looking guns. Big old beards and Soviet looking caps. And then when it comes down to the infantry themselves, you have this version with his hatchet drawn and blunderbuss held back. And you have the advancing with blunderbuss at the ready. And you just have variations of those two, model-wise. Now, what I will say is, the 2 times I've run that unit, once was against the Lich Lord, and they did well. They didn't single-handedly win me a game or anything, but they did well. They gave me versatility they don't normally have. The other time I used them was against our buddy Dom from our gaming group, and they did me a lot of good. He was running a Bellephone, the weird Hordes caster that can become a separate model or merge with her like beast to do whatever. And he had a unit of Hex Hunters, and because I had the 3 RPG guys, I was able to make his Hex Hunters break, and then they ran. And then I was able to take out his Frost Shard Spire or whatever, the special character 3 unit, and that was huge. It kind of won me the game. Now, after using them, I haven't used them extensively, but after using them, we come back to the crux of why I didn't want to use them, was I felt that it was going to be like, oh, it's my crutch. It's the only way I can win. Well, after having used them, I don't feel that way at all. Warmachine is very much a balanced game. There are some models that are worse. You know, there's some units that you face that are worse than others, like I said. The Bane Thrall block is just horrifying, but you can deal with it. I don't think that the elite units are that bad, especially if you're playing in a group that's sportsmanlike. So I don't feel bad for having bought them. I don't feel like a dirty person. Which, you know, I won't use them every game, because I am more into the Meta Wars. Speaking of which, give me a second, let me find the model. If I can. There he is. There he is. There he is. My absolute favorite model ever. He is the Man of War battle mechanic. And he made my Men of War a lot more viable once I bought him. So he makes it so that your battle mechanics, which he goes with, can repair your Men of War along with your Warjacks, which is huge. You can restore hit points, and it makes them a little less flimsy, which is a good thing. So he gets run in my list more than the Winter Guard do. But that's really it for this episode. It was kind of a what's in the box, I guess. More of just a talking about the unit, but you did get to see what comes in the 3 Winter Guard I showed, the 2 with blunderbusses and the Rocketeer. They come in the plastic box set from Privateer Press, which you get 3 rocket guys and 10 other guys. Which, that's, you know, I think it was, I want to say it was like 30 some bucks from the War Store, which for 13 guys I was okay with that. Then the Standard Bearer and the Unit Leader are a blister by themselves, and Joe is a blister by himself. So if you're looking at the Winter Guard Death Star, you need those 3 things. But that's going to do it for me. I'm going to get around here and maybe try to paint one of my Russian ships really quick before my gaming group gets here for the evening. And then I'm going to roll some dice. Hopefully, you guys liked the video. If you did, give us a thumbs up. We always appreciate that. Leave us a comment down below. Or if you want, subscribe. Share us with your friends. We always appreciate that. So we'll see you guys next time here in Poolshed Games. And I'm thinking that the Lich Lord will be making an appearance here pretty soon. Have a good one, guys.